Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the Cockcrow. Okay, so what is the Cockcrow? The Cockcrow is a collection of short stories, drama and poems, and it is compiled by two authors. We have John A. Sackey and Lawrence Darmani. John A. Sackey is a former UCC lecturer, and Lawrence Darmani has been the author of several books, including Grief Child, right, which is used in the senior high school. So let's get into it and see what is actually in the Cockcrow. Okay, so first glance of the book, this is what you're going to find: the design, the cock, and everything. Okay, so when you open it, this is what you're going to find. We have the rights reserved, and then the publishers and stuff like that here. Then we have the contents. Okay, the content, we have 19 literary pieces. Okay, some of them are short stories, some are poems. Right, then we have the glossary and bibliography. Okay, so that is about first glance of the book. Then we have one drama, okay, which is the dilemma of a ghost, which we are going to get into when we start with everything. Then we have the acknowledgement. Okay, then we have the preface. All right, when you read the preface is actually going to give you the reason why the book is even called the Cockcrow. Okay, so let me read something very short here, okay, so that we understand the reason behind the name Cockcrow. So let me go to this one. I say that this book is a collection of short stories, a play, and poems. As you read, you will notice that every story, play, and poem is like a cock that is crowing. There is a lesson to learn, information to remember, a warning to note, or a wonderful story to enjoy. All right, so that is about the name Cockcrow. There's an African proverb here. It says that a cock crows in a household, but it is heard in the whole village. All right, so this is like something like a food for thought. All right, so let's go into our first piece. We have Debbie, Sandy, and Pepe by Merrill Corney. All right, like I said, these stories have been taken and have been compiled for a purpose. Okay, this is not a random story. So this story is going to teach our students, our learners, that God cares for all his creation. All right, then we should stop worrying about things that we cannot change. Then we go on straight to our second piece. We have The Color of God, one of my favorite poems in here. It's very, very simple and easy to understand. Okay, and it is by V.B. Archie. Okay, so the whole foundation of The Color of God is that we should respect each and everybody's color, religion, and that God is not limited or doesn't have favorites. Okay, that is about the color of God. Okay, so it's an interesting one. It's just one stanza. Then the third one, we have Desert Rivers by Lade Usono. It's the same thing. It's also one stanza, and this poem is actually talking about potentials, all right, and the fact that we all have something special about us. Okay, so that is about Desert Rivers. Then let's move on to our next short story. We have The Old Man and His Children, okay, retold by Gene Watson. So The Old Man and His Children is one of the stories which we all have heard at a certain point in our life, but it has been retold in different ways. Okay, so the whole premise of this story is that united we stand and divided we fall. Okay, so this story is going to teach you that when we are united, we can do a whole lot of good, but when we divide and then we fight against ourselves, we cannot do much for ourselves. Then we have The Only Drama. Okay, moving on to number 5, The Only Drama, which is The Dilemma of a Ghost by our one and only Ama Ata Edu. Right, you're going to enjoy this one, especially if you are an avid reader. You will enjoy this one. Okay, so this one is quite lengthy, but it is talking about cultural differences. Okay, for instance, there is a character here called Atoyosin. This character is a Ghanaian, and he decided to get married to an Afro-American or a Black American woman, and there is a clash of culture. So how a wife is supposed to behave in the States is different from how a wife is supposed to behave in our African setting. So when she moved down to Africa, something happened. All right, there is a whole lot of issues which went on between Elali and Ato's family. Okay, so I think it's this drama is 5 acts. So this is like act 3. Yeah, let me check this. Yes, 5 acts. So act 5. All right, it's quite lengthy for this one, I must confess. Then we have Ripples. Okay, Ripples by Peter Paul Adoli Nama. Okay, so Ripples is a story that criticizes some bad things in society. Okay, and when I'm talking about bad thing, I'm specifically talking about child marriage. Okay, it is hammering on that topic. Okay, and its effects or devastating consequences on our teenagers. Okay, especially teenagers who are in school. All right, so that is about Ripples. Okay, so that is number 6. Then let's move on to number 7. We have A Day Sweet, okay, by Ernest Hemingway. So this story is about the consequences of having the wrong information. Okay, the consequence associated with having the wrong information and acting upon it. Okay, so that is about A Day Sweet. It's short and straight to the point. Then we have number 8. We have Tell My Son to Hold On to His Gun, all right, by Ketri Akosumbo Nyantechi. So the theme of this story is about courage. Okay, it is about courage. So it starts with a young man who was not courageous, and at the end of the day, he was given a task to kill a killer beast, all right, of which he succeeded. So it is going to take you through his journey and how he was able to overcome his fears. Okay, that is about Tell My Son to Hold On to His Gun. Then let's go on to the next one. We have Lawrence Darmani, okay, Scribbler's Dream. So this is a poem which has 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 stanzas. It's an interesting one. Okay, it's an interesting one. Like I said, Lawrence Darmani is deeply rooted in this collection. Okay, this is a poem which talks about procrastination, right, and its devastating effect. And if you are a writer, okay, this poem will speak to you directly. All right, then let's move on to number 10. We have A Wreath of Tears. A Wreath of Tears by Kobna Eyi Akwa. Osofopon SB Samoa. All right, it's an interesting one. Trust me, it's an interesting one. There are a lot of lessons to learn here. Okay, even though the poem is somehow emotional and has a sad tone to it, when you read the poem, you'll find out that it tries to even criticize some of the things that we do during funeral services, especially in Ghana. You know that in Ghana, we spend a lot of money, energy, and resources when it comes to organizing funerals. Okay, so this one will actually hammer on all those points. Okay, so we have A Wreath of Tears, number 10. And then we have Oliver Twist, okay, Abridged and Simplified. Abridged means that it has been shortened, okay, by Charles Dickens. So this story begins with a character who is at the lowest point of their life, okay, and then rises up to have his place in society. Okay, that is about Oliver Twist. Okay, it is also quite lengthy. Okay, number 12, we have The Girl Who Can by our own Ama Ata Edu. All right, it's also an interesting one. okay, and talks about the theme of never underestimating one's abilities, okay. And then it will go on to show us that you cannot use one's physical appearance to judge them, right? So it is wrong to use somebody's physical appearance to dismiss their potential or abilities, okay. So that is about it. That is about the girl who can. Moving on straight, we have Susu and the Bukari boys, okay. So this story is also by Lawrence Darmani, okay. This story is great, okay, because we can all relate to it. And this story is on the premise that we should be content with whatever we have in life, okay. Susu, who is the main character, was always angry with his mom because he thought that Bukari was bringing a lot of money to school and his mother could do better. His mother should do the same for him. And then at the end of the story, you understand, Susu came to understand that he actually needs to appreciate his mom, all right, for her efforts. So that is about Susu and the Bukari boys. Very interesting one. Let's go to the next one. We have Sleep Without Wake by A.A. Amakon. It's a poem about the loss of a mother, okay, and how the loss of a mother can affect one emotionally, okay. So if you lose a loved one, how it affects you, especially when you remember all those great and good times together, okay. So that is about Sleep Without Wake, number 14. Number 15, we have Makwala by Theresa Enin. All right. So the theme of this whole poem is about a big marketplace in Ghana. You know, Makwala is a big marketplace in Accra, Ghana. Okay. And this poem is trying to talk about the different shades of people who find themselves in the marketplace and also the activities which goes on in the marketplace. Okay. So that is about Makwala. Very, very interesting one. Then the next one, 16, we have The Generous Hunter by Kechre Akosombo Nyantechi. Okay, so if you are a fan of happy ending stories, you will enjoy this one. Okay, well, this one, it starts with a character who was achieving some form of fame in the story, and then all of a sudden he just came crashing down, and then he was even accused of stealing and was nearly sentenced to death, okay. And then as time goes on, he rises up once again to take his place in society. So that is about The Generous Hunter, and you will enjoy it, especially if you love stories of that nature, okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have Home Sweet Home by Ken Saro Wiwa. So when we talk about Home Sweet Home, you know, the title of the story alone should give you context to what is really happening in the story. So we are saying that there is no place like home. Okay, so this story is going to depict that there is no place like home. That no matter where you go, you should always give some form of respect and recognition to where you came from. Okay, and that is non-negotiable. Okay, that's about Home Sweet Home by Ken Saro Wiwa. All right, so let's move on to our next piece. We have Mama is a Sunrise by Evelyn Tully Hunt. Okay, so Mama is a Sunrise is a poem which celebrates the role of mothers in the home. Okay, that if you have a mother in the home and she's responsible, doing everything in the home as a mother, it brings out the light in everybody. Okay, so there's an interesting line here. It says that she puts a spark even in Papa's eyes and turns out all our darkness. Okay, so that is just a gist of what is in this poem. Okay, very, very interesting one, and it's you to celebrate the role and then the importance of a mother in the family. Okay, then we are going on to number 19. We have A Minor Bed by Robert Frost. So A Minor Bed is a very, very short poem, okay? We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines and 4 stanzas, okay? And what this poem is trying to tell us is that we should be careful when we are throwing criticism at people. Okay, when you want to criticize somebody, when you want to tell someone that hey, what you're doing is not good, we should think twice about it, okay, and look at where the person is coming from. All right, basically it's trying to say that if you are not in the shoes of someone, you shouldn't, okay, or you should be careful in trying to throw criticisms at them. All right, so that is about A Minor Bed by Robert Frost. Okay, so I think this is the last piece here. And then you go to the glossary of new words and expressions as used in the story. So they have selected some of the words which students may find difficult. So when you come here, you see something like contingency. Okay, so what is the meaning of contingency? So something that might happen in the future. Okay, then we have this one, grumpy. I think this word is found in The Old Man and His Children. Okay, so what is the meaning of grumpy? Acting miserably and in a bad temper. Okay, so this one is going to help our students to understand a lot of words that is being used in the content. Okay, so it has been also grouped in alphabetically A, B, C, D, E, so that it'll be easier. Then we have the bibliography. So we have all the individuals whose stories and then publications has been used. That is the end of everything. Then, so how many pages we have? We have 190. Okay, it ends at 190. So this is the back of the book. Okay, so let me read something short here. It says that great care has been taken in putting together this collection of short stories, poems, and a play for junior high schools in Ghana. All right, so there is nothing random about the stories that were selected for this book. Okay, so thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this. Goodbye and have a blessed day.